Hey everyone, welcome to the first video of my Facebook Marketplace flip series. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the rest of this series. I'm going to be trying every popular side hustle on this channel so you can see what actually works best in 2026, how long it takes to learn each of these side hustles, and how long it takes to get to your first dollar. So today we're starting with Facebook Marketplace flips, and specifically sports card flips. I'm gonna go through Facebook Marketplace and see what some of the newest sports card listings are and see if any of them seem like a good deal. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so this first listing is pretty far away. I messaged the seller and got them down to 85 from 120. It looks like a lot of loose, random cards, most likely cherry-picked, and some cards will probably be a bit damaged being randomly thrown in the boxes like this, but there are quite a few cards, so that has some potential. But the driving time might not be worth it for this deal. Okay, here we have 1,300 plus cards for $90. I messaged the seller and got him down to $80. This looks a lot cleaner, most likely cherry-picked as well, but better condition than the previous listing and only a 15-minute drive away. This seems like a decent option. Even if only 5 to 10% of the cards are actually good players, I think I can at least get my money back, worst case. Okay, this person is selling only 250 cards for $75, but I can see some good names in the photos, so maybe they're mostly good players. But for the price, the number of cards is a bit small. This one is more risky than the 1,300 plus listing, but there's the fact that I have a better idea of what players are here. I asked if he can do 60, but he doesn't want to negotiate on the price, so the cards must be decent, but I'm a bit hesitant since this is my first flip. I decided to go with the second listing. I just confirmed with the seller I'll meet him today to buy those cards. Let's go pick them up. This is the main lot of cards here. All right. It's not bad. Yes, so far it's mostly not super sought after players and a lot of duplicates. Okay, I mean, so far there's a few that might be decent, but yeah, definitely this is gonna be tricky. There are not a lot of super valuable players here. Set that guy aside. It's Dion Phaneuf. Jimmy Howard was not a bad goalie. Just going through super quickly to see if there's anybody worth looking into a little more. But yeah, it's hard to say. A lot of these are super common, super basic cards and not super sought after players. Okay, so I'll put that deck over to the side. All right, so here's a captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's see. There's some more victory cards on the back. This is kind of nostalgic for me because I used to buy hockey cards back in 2012, 2015 roughly. So yeah, these victory cards look a lot like the cards that I used to buy. Well, this is kind of good. It might give me an idea, some people to look for, but these may have been cherry-picked already. Let's see. Okay, here's something. This one's not bad. Paul Correa. Okay, we got Corey Perry. Go. Not bad. Some familiar names here. Milan Lucic. Phil Kessel. Yeah, classic Boston Bruins. Zdeno Chara, there you go. Glenn Murray, Zdeno Chara, Patrice Bergeron. Yeah, there we go. There's some familiar names. Jerome McGinley. Nice. Mika Kaprizov. Nice. Okay, there's a few in here. Brodeur. Yeah, I had him back in the day as well. Nice. Okay, some nostalgic players. It's always fun. Jaromir Jagr. Nice. Evgeny Malkin. Alright, now for the last big box full of cards. So far, I've set aside a good stack. I was estimating maybe like 5 to 10% of these cards. So there's just over 1,300 total. Maybe 5 to 10% have over $1 of resale value. But the vast majority of these, I think I'm going to end up combining into teams and then selling as lots, like 10 cents per card for team lots. So we'll see how that goes. Well, let's take a look at this final box here and see if we have any more nostalgic players, anything else that could have some decent value. Okay, there's Joe Thornton, Dion Phaneuf again. We'll set those guys aside. Just looking for familiar names, and then I'm going to go over this again and look a little more closely in case there's anything I missed. And of course, let me know in the comments if you recognize any of these players or if there's any gems here that could be at least over $1 in value. Again, just quickly looking for anything that stands out. But of course, I am far from an expert on hockey players. I've only followed a little bit. So definitely let me know if you see anything good here. But of course, most of these random lots are going to be cherry picked. So it's a little bit hard to tell which seller is going to give you a good lot. But we'll try a few more of these in the future if this one goes well. And we'll see how much we can realistically make with flipping these sports cards just from people's, childhood inventory or something like that. Carlson's not bad. I think my strategy for going through some of these less familiar names, Brad Marchand, Davis Pastrnak, definitely have to separate those out. But yeah, my strategy for going through some of these, not as well-known names is I'm going to look for the highest points possible for the cards that have stats. Also people that were assistant captains and captains. And then the rest that I've just got no clue and I'll take way too much time to like super research everybody. Those cards I'll probably sell as team lots and go from there. 10 cents a piece, and we'll see how it goes. Luongo before he was on the Canucks. Okay, gotta put him aside. Okay, I'm gonna go through the rest of this box really fast, and then I'll overview a little bit of the ones that I set aside that I think are the most valuable, and then I'll show you how many I have left that need further research or I'm just gonna sell as another bulk lot. And last but not least, as a bonus, I bought this pack of hockey cards just at Indigo, brand new. There's 8 cards for $5. And I just want to show you guys real quick what I got in this lot. But yeah, so these are just some other random hockey cards that I had in my personal collection. So I'll combine these with the cards that I sorted out. Oh, that's just the checklist. Cards that I sorted out from the Facebook Marketplace haul that I just picked up. And we'll see how much I can sell these cards that I separated out that I think are a little bit better. And then we've also got a huge box still full that I have to take a little bit of a closer look at. But hopefully just this box, if none of them are especially valuable, I could resell just this box for at least what I paid for this whole lot, maybe a little bit more. And then my profit really comes in with these cards here. There's about 250 decent players here, so I think I can at least make a reasonable amount on this flip. Real quick, here's a few of the players that I separated out. We got Jonathan Toews. We got Mitch Marner. Let's see, we got Kyle Connor. We got Zdeno Chara. We got Dion Phaneuf. Connor Hellebuck. Corey Perry. Let's see who else. Pavel Datsyuk. Phil Kessel. Let's see. Nicholas Backstrom. Who else do we got here? Pekka Rinne. Mark Scheifele. Jonathan Quick. Dylan Larkin. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We got Steven Stamkos. Lots of Jonathan Toews. Paul Kariya. Matt Duchene, Sam Reinhart, Jimmy Howard, one of my favorite goalies, Drew McGinley. So those are some of the names that I pulled out. Patrick Marleau, Kachuk, Marc-Andre Fleury, Patrice Bergeron, Wade Redden. So yeah, a lot of nostalgic players. Some newer players, Tuukka Rask. Definitely want to keep some of these players. A lot of well-known names that I used to trade when I was like 10 years old.
All right, so I separated out about 250 cards out of the 1,300 plus lot. These are all good players who have at least a little bit of value, even though the cards themselves are nothing special. They're all very common types of cards, but at least the players are well known. I personally want to keep some of these for my own collection because I haven't had some of these players in over a decade. A bit nostalgic for me to go through all these cards and see some of these names. But let's see how much I might be able to actually make on this lot. For these name brand cards, as I like to call them, I think I can get at least 50 cents a piece, minus the cards that I want to keep. That's about $100 right there. And for the rest, there might be some good players. I'm just not super familiar with all the players in this box. There's like about 1,050 cards in this box here. So to save time selling this lot, I think I'm just gonna separate it out into teams. So likely on this entire collection with the well-known players sorted out, I can make about $150 for this whole lot. So that's a minimum profit of $70 right there. And potentially I can make even more if I auction off some of these team lots, or especially lots of the good players on platforms like Whatnot. If I do a live auction for those, I can potentially get a lot more per card. So there you go. I think I might get close to double my money on this lot. And there you have it, everyone. That's my first attempt at flipping on Facebook Marketplace, specifically flipping sports cards. Let me know if while I was rifling through, you noticed any players that I might have missed. And let me know down in the comments if you have any tips for my next sports card flip. I'd love to learn from you all since I'm new to all of this. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.